Om Prakash, if you like, you may come in the front row. Or you feel comfortable. I know throughout you used to sit in this row. So, good morning and welcome to Pragati. You know, today is the last but one lecture. Tomorrow we are going to wind up this batch. Some tests are to be taken, and those who are interested in appearing in the test, please contact Mr. Virender. Now, the purpose of this special lecture today is to give you some guidance in the class how to attempt a geography paper in the UPSC examination. In addition to this, there is a good news that Pragati IAS is going to start online course in collaboration with Neo Stencil. Neo Stencil is an established name in distant education, and anybody who is interested to register himself or your friend, he may get registered. Please pass this information that coming to Delhi is not a must. The lectures will be at the place where the candidates are staying at their houses, in their town or in their villages. Convey this information. Now, as you know, no, it is a full course. The course which you have done, and I don't think you need this course. I am very confident about my student, you will be doing very well. But those who are new, or somebody if interested in joining Pragati, he may be at Nagpur, Hyderabad or Guwahati or Patna, they can join the course right at their place. I repeat one thing, that about Majid Husain, there are many rumors. Many a time people say Majid Husain is an author, he is not a teacher, he is not teaching. He takes only a few classes, the rest of the course is covered by his assistants, by his juniors. You are in this class right from the beginning. You can bear me out that in this Pragati, geography is taught only by one teacher. All the course, whatever course is covered of both the papers, and we try to cover 100% course of both the papers, is done by only one teacher, and you know the name of the teacher. The teacher is all the time available. Unless we declare that after 15 days there will not be a class, there may be some social commitment on the part of the teacher. So at least 15 days before we announce the class will not be, normally our class begins at the right time. Secondly, you know, UPSC conduct this examination to fail you. This sentence I repeated several times, and I know through horse's mouth. Even the secretary says that we conduct the examination to fail unless the candidate is different, unless the candidate is different from others. And they rightly say it because minimum 10 lakh students have applied for the PT examination. 10 lakh. The number is more than 10 lakh this year. Out of this, minimum 6 lakhs will be appearing in the PT examination. And they will pick up only 15 to 18,000 for the mains. So, this is a chutney pariksha just to eliminate. The trash will be eliminated in the very. And in this process, some very good students are also eliminated. So, PT is a difficult examination. Those who will be clearing the PT, they will go for the mains, in which one optional, 1000 marks for GS, plus compulsory essay, and then only about 1800 students will be invited to face the personality test. And the vacancies are very few. The seats are very limited, maybe around 1000, 1100. So the competition is very tough competition. It is a cutthroat competition. The UPSC is determined to fail you. And often I say, this pariksha is a very kathin pariksha. एक आग का दरिया है और डूब के जाना है. तब आप क्या कुंदन में पढ़कर, आग में पढ़ करके आप कुंदन बनते हैं, You deserve appreciation. I like this. Now the problem is, in the case of geography, I know I got enough information and data. Most of the teachers who are teaching geography, they are mostly with non-geography background. Many of them appeared in the UPSC examination several times. Unfortunately, they could not clear the examination, but through marketing mechanism, they are attracting large number of students. I don't know what is the quality of their teaching, but you will appreciate that a subject can be taught only by the person who has background in the subject. History can be taught in a better way by historian, botany by a botanist professor, or engineering, civil engineering by a civil engineer. If some mechanical engineer start teaching civil engineering, he will not be able to do justice despite all efforts. So, the role of teacher is very important. Teacher can guide you. Teacher can tell you how to secure better marks in the subject which is your optional subject. So today my purpose is first to take a test containing 10 questions, objective type for your PT examination. And anybody who will be getting 10 out of 10 will get 2 books. Anybody who will be getting highest, I know 10 out of 10 nobody will be getting. But anybody who will be getting highest, he will get a useful book. And any person getting second will also get a prize in the form of a book. The third, I got the third book also. It is the discretionary of the teacher. He can give that book to anybody. So this is one part of today's meeting. Secondly, I will discuss with you 2 questions, both from the paper 1, containing physical geography and human geography. If there is a question on physical geography, how to attempt that question? If there is a question from human geography, what should be actually the answer, or you can say which should be very close to the model answer submitted by the paper setter. Because in the class I repeatedly told you that the paper setter has to submit the model answer also for every short note, for every 15 marks question and 20 marks question. He gives the drawing and the diagrams also, which are must for the question. This is, now note down a few points before I start the test. What precautions in the examination you should take? Number 1. No. You know the syllabus. I am talking geography syllabus. Geography syllabus consists of 2 papers. Paper 1, part A, physical geography, part B, human geography. It carries 250 marks. Paper 2, geography of India, part 1, 5 units, part B, 5 units. Total units are 10 there also, with a compulsory map on the geography, on some entries to be located in the map of India. This is your second paper. So something you must do. The course is available. Number 1, a candidate with geography optional should know something about every topic prescribed, and everything about some important topics. This is the expected preparation for the UPSC. Some knowledge of each topic should be in your mind. But there are some important topics which should be thoroughly prepared. Number 2, document each question with suitable maps and diagrams. Document each question with suitable maps and diagrams. Because a geography professor or your examiner will be geography examiners or professors of geography will check your answer books. He knows 40% marks are reserved for maps and drawings. 60% 60% for written material, 40% for the maps, diagrams, etc. Though in your answer sheet or at the top of the answer book, they write only one thing: document your maps, your answers with suitable maps. But suitable maps weightage is 40%. I know it because I did enough confidential work at different places. Now, maps should be relevant. They should be properly labeled. It takes time, and taking time means you have to do practice. The third point which should be in the mind of a geography student is time management. Time management, you know, there are 180 minutes, or in this period, (16 or 17) questions are to be attempted. There will be some short note carrying 10 marks, some 15 marks question. The biggest will be 20 marks question. But anyhow, the rationalization of time is required. Any short note should not cross 7 minutes. You have to give Sanjeevani Bhuti, not Jaghu Parvat. You know so much about even geosyncline, which can be a short note, or a sea breeze or a land breeze, valley or mountain wind, or any topic. There are many topics in the course like tsunami. Your knowledge may be enormous, but try to reduce your knowledge to 7 minutes with the average speed of writing. That is a prerequisite. The questions which carry 15 marks should be completed in about 12 minutes, and any big question of 20 marks must be completed with drawings in 17 to 18 minutes. If you follow this rationalization of time, you will be able to complete your paper. Otherwise, after the paper you will repent. Oh, I was knowing so much. I was not able to finish my paper. I skipped 40 marks. So when you are skipping 40 marks or 30 marks, you will be getting 0. It is better to attempt the full paper. Geography paper is not a paper in which you cannot attempt. There may be 1 or 2 short notes. Like last year they asked compage or sequent occupation, sequent occupants. Yes, compage was asked, Whittlery's concept. So there may be some difficulty. You need not to nervous. Greater part of the paper is in your knowledge. Skip those questions. Skip those short notes where you are blank. Never try to guess or conjecture to write something, because getting 0 after writing is not advisable. If you are not writing sense or relevant answer, you will get 0, because they want to fail you. You are providing a chance to fail you. So what is the use of devoting your 3-4 minutes on that short note? Skip that short note and devote this time to your bigger questions. Your bigger questions should be of quality, better than the answers of other. This is also important. Apart from knowledge, the rationalization of time management is very important. Then in the second paper, there is a compulsory question, map question. Map of India. Maybe 10 entries or 12 entries which the paper setter asks you to locate and write about 30 words. In that, please, second paper, give enough time to map question. You have to practice important tributaries of the rivers, peaks, waterfalls, passes. Then there may be some glaciers, sea beaches, some biosphere reserves, some national parks. There may be mining centers, industrial centers, some important projects. One by one you have to master this. Because if you are getting good marks in a map question, then you will be better than others. This is andar ki baat. I know and have enough experience. All examiners in the second paper, they check your map question first. It may be at the top, it may be in the end, it may be somewhere in between. You try to conceal it, but the examiner opens your sheet and try to find, search, where is the map. Map is checked first, everywhere. Every year, map is checked first by all the examiners. And on the basis of marks secured in the map question, he gathers some impression whether this student is a good student or average student or below the average, and this impression goes throughout. In all the 16 questions, this will be helping. So all good students in the second paper, they devote enough time for the math question. One more thing, please don't study too much, because 20 marks question, 15 marks question, 10 marks question, even if you are having some points, you can manage it. Too much study is dangerous for IAS. If somebody says, I study 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, 16 hours a day, it means he is a surety not to achieve his target. He study 5-6 hours a day, and rest of the time, still if you are not satisfied, please make notes. 5-6 hours are sufficient, because concentration cannot be more than 5-6 hours. And this 5-6 hours should be with gaps. You do work or study for about 1 or 2 hours, give a break of 15 minutes, forget what you did, then again start studying. With some interval you have to study, and when you feel really I am exhausted, prepare some notes, enjoy, go for coffee break, tea break, recreation, and pass time. Do some indoor games or some activities to relax yourself. You should not stress yourself. And one point which often I talk, you have to keep good health. You should do some physical work. Only sitting in the chair and all the time consulting literature is not advisable. Physically we should be fit, because I know at least one of my students, an IIT from Chennai, Brijesh Jha was the name from Bihar. He was A1 student, but all the time he was keeping poor health, and twice after clearing the PT examination, he fainted in front of the Dholpur house gate. He was taken to the hospital from that. Used to feel so nervous. There was some actually terror in his mind. I don't know whether he will be clearing the mains this year. So he wasted all 4 chances. I know he was IAS material from my point of view, but he was not keeping good health. So good health is also necessary. Good health you can maintain if you devote only 15 minutes for yourself. I am not saying devote 1 hour. You are not going to dangle, to WWF. You have to do some light exercise, or do some yoga, or go for morning walk, or if morning is difficult for you because you don't see the sun rising, go for the evening walk. This should be the part of your routine. And if you follow this routine for 1 year, I am sure you will be through in the IAS examination. One more point which you will take in the right perspective is the proper guidance. Guidance should be good, because a guru is required, and guru should be involved in your career. He should take your career as his personal career. If my student fails, it will be a failure of the teacher. When there is actually involvement of the student or candidate and the teachers, the result is always good. I know our students are doing very well in geography. There may be some problem in GS, etc. I agree. But the total, geography can put your total really high. And now only 52-53% is required. Even if we are getting 46% marks in general category, you are IAS. 46% is IAS. If you are under reserved category or classified category, then even the student who got 600th rank is IAS. That is a different criteria. But I am addressing to the general category students that 46% aggregate, 47% aggregate can put you in the A class service, IAS, IFS and IPS. These are the first class service. So please follow these things, and I am sure you will be through. And you, now with this, first there will be a test, and then I will give 2 model answers for the mains examination. I wish Mr. Virender you distribute the question paper, and only 10 minutes will be available to you. There are 10 questions. You have to do these 10 questions in 10 minutes. जल्दी से बांटिए. Time जल्दी से बांटिए. Time should not be wasted. Today is a very important day. Please tick yes for correct answer. There are 4 options to each question. And we hope you will be doing it in 1 minute time. Each question 1 minute. जल्दी करो भाई. Your PT is next month. Please read these questions and give the answer. your name, please. Put down your name. Please put down your name at the top. Question number 6. Make it 1, 2, 3. Yeah, make it 1, 2, 3. There is a correction in one of the questions. What is this question number? Question number? Question number 6, please. Do one correction. There are 3 statements. The order is 1, 2 and 3, not 1, 3, 4. Only 1 minute more. Please hurry up. This is yours. इसको अपने पास रखिए. इसको. You will do the marking. I will give the correct answer. Hurry up, please. इसकी आप मार्किंग करेंगे. आप इसकी मार्किंग कर दीजिए. Thirty seconds more. Hurry up. You will do the marking. इसकी मार्किंग आप करेंगे. The time is over. Stop writing, please. Put down your name at the top. Please hand over your answer sheet. ये आप ले लीजिए. Take this. Any more answer sheet, please? Have you given? Okay. Is it your name? No. This is your answer sheet. This is your answer sheet. Oh, sorry. Anybody who is to submit his answer sheet? Om Prakash, you are already late. In the examination hall, nobody will give you time. किसी के पास कॉपी ना हो, चेक करनी है आप लोगों को. यू प्लीज रेज योर हैंड. ये अपनी देख लीजिए, अपनी ही कॉपी तो नहीं है. आपके पास है? यस। देखिए अपनी ही तो नहीं है, भार्गव। यस। ओम प्रकाश जाट, I need your answer sheet. Any more answer sheet to be submitted, please? No. Who is without answer sheet? This is to be checked by somebody. Everybody is having one. किसी को ये भी चेक करनी है? तिवारी तुम्हारे पास आ गई? नहीं, एक नहीं, एक मिल गए तो फिर एक तो होनी चाहिए. शुड बी वन कैंडिडेट विदाउट आंसर शीट. कोई नहीं है, दो कैसे आ गई? ऑल राइट, आई विल डू द मार्किंग. प्लीज नोट डाउन द करेक्ट आंसर एंड पुट यस. क्वेश्चन नंबर 1, B for Bombay. Question number 2, D for Delhi. Question number 3, D for Delhi. Question number 4, B for Bombay. Question number 5, A for Allahabad. Question number 6, D for Delhi. Question number 7, C for Calcutta. Question number 8, 7 is C, 8 is D for Delhi. Question number 9, 9 is A for Allahabad. Question number 10, C for Calcutta. इसकी भी मार्किंग कर दीजिए. आई विल गिव यू द रिजल्ट्स. इससे मैच कर लीजिए. ये आंसर है क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 से. ये देख लीजिए. प्लीज डू द टोटल ऑफ द करेक्ट आंसर ऑन ईच शीट. Yes. What is the total of Om Prakash? Now the result is ready. Anybody who got 10 after 10? Any name? 9 after 10? 8 after 10? 7 after 10? 6 after 10? There are 2. May I know the name of 6? Oh, very good, well done. And your name? Full name? Yes, there are 2 who got 6. Anybody who got 5? You got 5. So the first 2 who got 6 marks, they will get prize. Do you have objective type of geography with you? No. I am asking you. You don't have. So there are 2 prizes. Six is actually Tiwari is 6. All the best. Congratulations. And you also got 6. All the best. And 1 book will be by lottery. All these are actually objective type of questions. But prize is not so important. I am happy that at least some of you did 50% correct. And I was expecting even a better result from some of my students. I will discuss these questions with you so that in the examination you don't commit a mistake. Now come question one by one. The first question. Which one of the following has the largest number of rainy days in a year? you did NCRT book, have done climatology by many scholars, but I think this information was a new information for you. 325 days are rainy days in Chile at a station. The name of the station, if you are interested, I can give you. And you can search it. Bahia (325) are the rainy days. The probability is 89%. Almost 90% days are rainy days at this place. It is in Chile. You never expected this. The next question was number 2. Consider the following statements and select the correct answer using the code given below. Grassland have the predominance of herbs and shrubs. This statement is correct. Then grasslands have clumps of trees. This is also correct. Then fires are recurrent phenomenon in the grasslands or savannas. This is also correct. And the trees and grasses of savannas are fire tolerant or fire resistant. This is also correct. All 4 are correct.
The trees are not.
Trees are also.
Trees are not fire resistant because if that would have been the case, then trees would have been more.
No, try to burn the acacia. You just put fire in a grassland. The acacia will not accept the fire very easily. It is fire resistant as compared to other trees. And all these statements are from some very reliable books. So, acacia babool. Pardon? 3 and fires are a recurrent phenomenon in the savanna. Frequently there are fire in the savanna grasslands. Sometimes by the human error, mistake of man, sometimes there are natural agency of fires. So all 4 statements are correct. If in case there is a question in the PT examination, take these points in your mind. Next, question number 3. The natural vegetation of a biome is low, close to the surface, growing and compact to escape wind, reduce evaporation and conserve heat. This is the case of tundra biome. It is in tundra.
So in desert biome also the vegetation.
No. Vegetation is not close to the surface. There may be isolated doob or grass, but there are trees also. All vegetation of the tundra is on the surface. It is mosses and lichens, maybe some small grasses. So this is, the question is a difficult question. Looks easy, but it is a difficult question and a quality question from the UPSC examination point of view. It is only the tundra vegetation. Yesterday also I gave a point. In tundra climate you will not find high frequency of stormy weather, because the pressure gradient is insignificant. The turbulent weather develop if there is a steep gradient of air pressure. In the tundra region, the temperature is low, the pressure is high. So the pressure gradient is very nominal. Consequently, there is very little chance of stormy weather. There may be one blizzard in 1 year, but whenever the blizzard comes, it makes the life of the people miserable. These are some freak type of questions which I consulted some standard books and communicated to you. Don't worry if you are getting less marks, but the concept should be clear to you. Next question. Consider the following statements and select the correct answer using the code given below. Tropical cyclones originate between equator and 20 degree north and south. This statement is wrong. No, the picture is actually like this. 0 degrees equator and 20 degree. They never occur in doldrum. It should be 5 to 8 degree north and 5 to 8 degrees south. They occur in these belts.
Sir, but they still occur in between equator and I think 20.
No, they are ITCZ. ITCZ migrates.
Maybe the statement is still correct. Agreed that it is between 5 degree and 20 degree. But
They-
still they are occurring between the equator and
They are not occurring in the Atlantic Ocean on equator. On equator, they are not occurring in Atlantic Ocean. So it cannot be taken as the tropical cyclones originate beyond 5 degree to 20 degree north, 5 degree to 20 degree south. In Atlantic Ocean, there is no tropical cyclone even on equator. You can say this thermal equator migrates north and south. But what about the Atlantic Ocean? The first statement is not correct. The remaining three are correct. ये बहुत बारीकी से सवाल बनाए गए हैं. Yes.
मेरा पॉइंट ये है कि ये अभी भी जो है इक्वेटर और इसके बीच में ही है. अगर ये बोलते हैं कि सर जो है 5 डिग्री और 5 डिग्री के बीच में सब नहीं होता हो. लेकिन 5 डिग्री और 20 डिग्री के बीच में तो ये पार्ट भी तो इक्वेटर और इसके बीच में आता है.
No, no. The tropical cyclone occur between 0 degree and 20 degree. ये statement है. This is not correct. Equator पे originate नहीं होते. They need some deflective force, Carolis force, and Carolis force is significant after 5 degree. नहीं, ये पहला statement सही नहीं है. ये बहुत मुश्किल सवाल हैं सारे ही. They originate between 5 degree. Rather exact अगर पूछिए, it is 8 degree north to 20 degree north. NCERT has written 5 degree to 20 degree. मैं चूंकि आप NCERT पे बिलीव करते हैं, इसलिए मैं आपका आंसर 5 डिग्री टू 20 डिग्री मान रहा हूँ. अदरवाइज एग्जैक्टली इट इज 8 डिग्री टू 20 डिग्री. Because at 8 degree the deflective force is significant. It helps in the rotation of the low pressure. The answer is like this. They never develop in the ITCZ or in the doldrum or on 0 degree. Next question. The remaining three statements are correct. Yes, again there may be some confusion in the mind about point number 2. The largest number of tropical cyclones occur over the central and western portion of the Pacific Ocean. This is correct. The tropical cyclones don't occur south of equator in Atlantic. The equatorial convergence zone does not migrate far enough in the Atlantic Ocean. So, in this case, statement number 1 is wrong. Question number 5. Consider the following statements. The nearly equal periods of day and light and darkness, the constantly high humidity, this was an easy question. The humidity high, the uniformly high intensity of radiation throughout the year, all these three statements are relevant to the equatorial biome. This was an easy question. Then the tropical cyclones don't occur again in the Atlantic Ocean because of the following. Number 1, there is minimum displacement of the convergence zone. Convergence zone is not going south of equator in that. The Carolis force is weak. It is correct. The surface water temperature in the South Atlantic Ocean is below 25 degrees Celsius. All three are correct, and therefore D is the answer for this. 1, 2 and 3 are correct. It should be around 25 to 27 degrees. Surface temperature of sea water should be around 25 to 27 degrees Celsius. then there is a chance of development of a tropical cyclone. Next question. Arrange the physiological density of the following. This question was easy. C is the correct answer. Kerala, Manipur, Goa and Rajasthan. Physiological density means total population divided by the agricultural area. That is known as the physiological density. Total population of a country divided by the total agricultural land of the country, that is physiological density. The physiological density is highest in Kerala out of the given 4 states. Next is Manipur, third is Goa and fourth is Rajasthan. And this question, Hakki Pikki, it appeared in the newspaper only about 20 days back. Hakki Pikki is almost an extinct language of Karnataka. This language is known as the language of criminals. This is a criminal tribe in Karnataka. Hakki Pikki tribe and Hakki Pikki language, it is the language that is almost disappearing. It is a language of a tribe which is in Karnataka. Next question, I was expecting this correct. In India, the decadal growth of population was the lowest out of the given 4 in 1951, 61 out of the 4. And last question, the highest diurnal range of temperatures was recorded in Sahara Desert. And if you are interested to know what was the range, I will give that answer. Yash Yadav, please take that. Pass it on. I will give you the range of temperature. On 13th October, (1927), at Salahin, Libya, the range of temperature was 52.2 degrees Celsius in the daytime, and next morning it was minus 3.3 degrees Celsius. It is equal to this is the diurnal range of temperature. In the afternoon, this was the temperature around 2 p.m. Next morning around 2 a.m. this was minus 3.3. The daily range of temperature was more than 55. It is the highest recorded daily range of temperature. It occurred in the Sahara Desert in Libya. This is the name of the place. So some of the questions were easy, most of them were difficult. But anyhow, those who got more than 5, they deserve appreciation, and I wish you may read climatology a bit more seriously. 2 areas you have to master: oceanography and climatology for your PT examination. Read these, not only NCERT books. The paper setters are not consulting NCERT. 1 or 2 questions may be, what are the forces behind the occurrence of a spring tide or tide? Gravitational force, solar force and the lunar force, everybody knows. But such questions are very easy questions. You read oceanography and climatology more seriously. Then you will be having confidence. Because today I picked up some questions from some very standard books, not the books which you are consulting. NCERT was not at my table when I made this paper, and even Indian authors' books were not on my table. All these are foreign authors, standard books. Anyhow, forget about the test because it is not important. The only advice which I can give you, because 18th of June is approaching, please read climatology and oceanography more seriously. Because paper setters are not asking much from geomorphology. They are asking question either from climatology or oceanography or biogeography or ecology environment. These are the special areas of paper setters. They are picking the questions out of this. Any doubt which is still in your mind and you want to get the doubt cleared? No, if there is nothing. This one book I will give it to somebody. I will not take it back. No, that is second largest. 322 days. 325 days and 322 days. I know the figures. Java is number 2. No, it is far away. It is south of desert. It is in the belt of westerlies. Westerlies. No. Orography is there, but there is temperate cyclone. It gets maximum number of rainy day, and rainy day with certain amount of rainfall is recorded. 0.1 inch or 0. It is 0.05 centimeter. No. In equatorial region, the rainy days are about 260. These two places are having much more, both in Chile and Indonesia. Common sense says it should be either in Brazil or in Congo Basin. But the data proves that it is in Chile and number 2 is in Java. The second city is in Java. No. रेन तो इक्वेटर पे है, कभी ब्राजील में हो रही है, कभी कांगो में हो रही है, कभी इंडोनेशिया में. एवरीडे बारिश होती है, not at one place. The largest number of rainy days are in this city, this Bahia Philips. And you check it after going back with the help of your internet or any other source which you consider reliable. मैं काफ़ी reliable source से ये सवाल बनाए थे और थोड़ा सा ये भी था कि आपको ये मिल जाए information. टेस्ट तो एक बहाना था just to pass this information to you. This is the question. Now, in case there is a question, last year Mr. Om Prakash, I think the temperate cyclones were not asked. This year I am expecting a question on variable winds. And variable winds are 3: cyclones, anticyclones. And cyclones are have subdivisions: temperate cyclones and tropical cyclones. This is my guess, and guess is only a guess. It may be right, it may be wrong. In case a question is coming on the variable winds, how to finish this question in at the most 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, and the answer should be close to the answer submitted by the paper setter. Because those of you who are regular in my class, they know that paper setter have to submit the solved paper. That's why paper setting is a difficult thing in the UPSC examination. You have to pick up the right type of questions, then write answers also. It is time consuming exercise and the remuneration is not very high. But the secretary always convinced the examiners, oh, it is a matter of great prestige and honor, you are the examiner, please help us. This is the lalach they give to the paper setter, please help us. Otherwise, who is ready to set the question paper? In the paper there may be about 25, 26 questions. You are attempting only 17, 18, but the total number of questions may be 26, 27. The paper setter has to give 26, 27 answers with diagrams. It takes several days. It is a boring job. आपके लिए बड़ा अच्छा लगता है. Paper setter they generally refuse. Sorry, I don't have the time. कहते हैं कि अगर एक टीवी की टाक अरेंज कर लेंगे इतने टाइम में तो कहीं ज़्यादा इनकम हो जाएगी. By setting the UPSC paper, what I will be getting? At the most 5,000 rupees. And how many days I have to devote? दिहाड़ी क्या होगी? Professor also thinks in terms of money. कि मुझे पैसा कितना मिलेगा? If I devote 3, 4 days or 5 days for setting this geography paper 1 or paper 2, how much money my family will be getting out of this hard exercise? So they work out, and many of the senior professors they refuse. Sorry, We are not going to set the paper. But it is a normal practice, the paper setter, his assistants, there are at least 3 assistants of the paper setter. They pick up the question and they have to give the model answer also. This is the way how. Now, you know, the geographers divide the winds into 4 types. And this is not to be written in the examination. What I will be writing on the board, that is not part of the model answer. Winds are of 4 types. Permanent winds. Number 2, periodic winds. Number 3, local winds. From the examination point of view, it is not important. May be important from the PT purpose, may be important for your GS purpose, but in geography paper 1, permanent winds will not be asked because they have never been asked. Why this experiment this year on you? So this is out of question. Give a reading, trade winds, anti-trade winds and polar winds, they are the permanent winds. You can describe. Even if you don't read, you can attempt this question. But the question will not be coming. This is almost 100%. No examiner is going to test you on permanent winds. Second, periodic winds are the monsoons. The winds which change their direction after every 6 months. Complete reversal of wind direction. These are monsoon, especially the Indian monsoon. So this question will not be coming in the first paper. You can prepare it for the second paper. Monsoon mechanism or different concepts about the origin of Indian monsoon, that is important in the second paper, not in the first paper. There may be some short note on local winds like Chinook, Mistral, Fohon, Harmattan, Hussain, Blizzard, Purga or Pempro. There are 8-10 local winds. You devote some time about these winds also. There may be a short note on the local winds. The paper setter is not going beyond that short note. But in my opinion, the most important topic for this year is the variable wind. The variable wind means the winds which change their direction after every few hours. They are not having a definite direction. They change their direction after every few hours. And in this category, we include cyclones, and anticyclones. The variable wind consists of cyclones and anticyclones. This has never been asked. There is no chance of anticyclone. Anticyclone means blue sky or high pressure area. Cyclone means low pressure area, also known as depression or lows. The gradient is there, and these cyclones are classified under 2 categories. One is the temperate cyclones, and number 2, tropical cyclones. So if you are interested to give something in the examination, this much you can, in a graphic form, you can give this. Variable winds means the wind which change their direction after every few hours. And they are classified by the climatologists or meteorologists into two categories, cyclones and anticyclones. And cyclones again being divided into two types, temperate cyclones and the tropical cyclones. These few sentences are sufficient, no need to give it. Now my guess is for this year, for the temperate cyclone, in case this question is coming in the mains examination, how to handle this question. In this question, note down separately as a points, what should be written? Origin of temperate cyclones. Origin under one heading. Number 2, characteristics of a temperate cyclone. Characteristics of a temperate cyclone. Number 3, weather associated with temperate cyclones. Weather associated with temperate cyclones. Number 4, paths of temperate cyclone, tracks, paths of temperate cyclones. And the 5th point, social relevance of temperate cyclones. This is the structured heading. Your answer should be like this. Always give heading, never write very lengthy sentences, paragraphs. Brief paragraphs, and in between there should be diagrams. The first point is origin. Actually, the origin of temperate cyclone is known as frontogenesis or cyclogenesis. There are two terms associated with the origin of temperate cyclones, and you have to write 2-3 sentences only. In 19, let me tell you a background. In 1918, there was a meteorologist. From Oslo or Norway. He introduced a very interesting concept known as front. In different books you will read different years, but the correct is 1918. In 1918, this meteorologist from Oslo or Norway introduced a term known as front. This sentence is to be written. Irrelevant is to be avoided. I will give you the background. Before 1918, there was no term like front or polar front theory. Listen, what is the background? Between 1914 and 18 was the First World War. During the First World War, Britain, Germany, France, all these countries were involved in war, First World War. So climatology was a secondary thing for the administrators, for the leaders. The data on climate was not recorded. The data was not available And the people, Norway, Sweden, these people, they were not involved in the war. They were suffering. They were suffering because the reliable prediction about the weather conditions was not possible without the data. These countries were making the prediction and they were also getting the benefit. In 1980, when the First World War ended, he borrowed a term from the military science front. The armies are at front. The enemy's armies are facing. So he applied this front. The armies facing each other, that is the front. He used this in climatology, or especially about the origin of the temperate cycle. He said in the temperate latitudes, there are different types of fronts. Note down this one. According to Bjerknes, in the atmosphere, in the temperate latitudes, there are different types of fronts, like warm front, cold front, or occluded front. Write only these words and immediately give a drawing or diagram. In weather maps, the fronts are represented like these diagrams. If you see the weather map of any country of temperate latitudes, the fronts are shown like this. Warm front are semicircles, cold fronts with spikes, and mixed fronts alternate semicircles and spikes. There is no need to write anything. Give these three diagrams. Though I don't suggest you to go for color, but there is no harm if you color these diagrams. In the coloring, your color scheme should be according to the scheme of geographers. Warm is this one where fire is shown. So orange color can be used. For cold, you can use green color or blue color, and rest is the mixed alternate. After giving these three diagrams showing the warm front, cold front and occluded front, you write one sentence. According to Bjerknes, the cold front moves faster. The cold front moves faster than the warm front. Underline this sentence. It looks paradoxical, but this statement is correct. If there are two fronts, the warm front speed will be twice of the, the cold front speed will be twice of the warm front. So they try to enter into the territory of each other. After this sentence, give all the diagrams of polar front theory. You know, in most of you are giving the diagrams which are in the book of Professor Sevendra Singh. And all your examiners know. Sevendra Singh borrowed it from Critchfield. There is a very standard climatologist. His name is Critchfield. A British climatologist. The diagrams which are in the book of Professor Surinder Singh are from this book, and all the examiners know it. So please try to avoid those diagrams. You know the reason. Because in our society there is such a caste-ridden society. People believe in whether he is from Brahmins or Rajput or Kshatris or Yadavs. All these things are in the mind of examiners also. If your examiner know that you are the Bhakt of Sivendra Singh and the examiner is Brahman, Pandit Mishra, from the same department, he will crush you. अपना गुस्सा आपसे निकालेगा वो. Therefore, try to avoid the diagrams which are in the books of Indian authors. पता नहीं कौन किसके नाराज है और हम लोगों में बहुत ज़्यादा एनवियस है, एक दूसरे के प्रति द्वेष भावना बहुत है, तो इंडियन ऑथर्स को एक्सक्लूड कर दीजिए. आई विल गिव द डायग्राम विच नो एग्जामिनर विल बी एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई वेयर ही गॉट दीज डायग्राम्स फ्रॉम. This is the point that colder front moves faster than the warm front. You can have Xerox copy after the class of this diagram. I did it for you only last night from a very standard book. This is a stable front. You see, in this case, this is the first stage where atmosphere is silent, calm, quiet, wind is not blowing. So this is the pattern of cold air is here, warm air is here. In the lower part is relatively warm air. In the upper part is relatively cold air. This is the normal condition when the wind is not blowing in the temperate latitudes. Both are peaceful, not disturbing each other. No need to write all these things. But warm air has a weakness. By acquiring more temperature, it expands. When it expands, it becomes lighter. The cold air is denser, so the warm air try to go up because it is lighter. And in the atmosphere, there is no vacuum. When some air is rising, it is replaced by the cold air. So there is start developing a curve here. Warm air is rising and cold air is also trying to enter into the area. It develops because just I mentioned the cold air moves faster. The cold air is moving faster. It is rising, but the speed of this one is more, and therefore there develops a triangle type of pattern. It is moving faster. It ultimately results into a mixed front. These are mixing here. This is the occluded front. There start a circle here or cyclone. The direction of cyclone in the northern hemisphere is anti-clockwise. So it is developing, and finally the cold air encircles the warm air. Here it is cold, 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 and there develops a low pressure area here. This is a low pressure area or a cyclone. So these diagrams 5, 6 are to be given. Writing is not important. It explains the gradual development of a temperate cyclone. Without writing anything, one sentence is important that I already dictated, that the cold front moves faster than the warm front. Consequently, the cold front encircles the warm air. There develops a low pressure area, and that low pressure area is known as temperate cyclone. All these temperate cyclones originate on the ocean body. Finish, this much is sufficient. Give the next heading, characteristics of a temperate cyclone. Point wise, the isobars are far away from each other. Far away from each other. Compare this with this diagram. In this case, the isobars are close to each other. There will be steep gradient. When the gradient is steep, there will be fast wind. But if the isobars are away from each other, the speed of the wind will be low. So one point is that the isobars are away from each other, far away from each other. Number two, the temperate cyclones are elliptical in shape. The shape is not circular. Tropical cyclones are circular. Temperate cyclones are elliptical. Number three, the speed of wind is gentle. Maybe 5 to 15 kilometer per hour. 5 to 15 kilometer per hour. Next point. A single temperate cyclone may cover or may have a diameter of thousands kilometer. Diameter of thousands kilometer. In some cases, the diameter of a temperate cyclone is the whole continent of Europe. A single temperate cyclone is covering all the countries of Europe. They are so big in size. Next point. Temperate cyclones give light shower. Light shower. Mostly drizzles. Next point. In the ending part of a temperate cyclone, there is thunder and lightning. Thunder and lightning, which is followed by anticyclone. Or anticyclone means blue sky, clear weather. These are some features which you can point wise mention, because if you start writing explanation of each of these, then you will be missing the bus. The time is not on our side. Now next heading, weather associated with temperate cyclones. Weather associated with temperate cyclones. And I will give a very simple diagram which should be given in the examination. See on this, the clouds of different type. Draw a simple diagram. In the front of a temperate cyclone, you will find white clouds. White clouds are cirrus. It is written here, CI means cirrus clouds. And cirrus cloud in a temperate country, if you see on the western side and there are white clouds, you can make a bhavishyavani, a prediction or a forecast that within one day there will be a cyclone. On the western horizon, you will find cirrus clouds. Cirrus are the highest clouds. Cirrus are white in color. They are white in color because at high altitude, whatsoever moisture is there in the cloud, that is in the form of ice crystals, frozen. These ice crystals are white. Therefore, the color of the cloud is also white. These clouds are white and they never give rainfall. They are not having enough condensation. So this is. After some time, after 5-6 hours, we will find CS, cirrostratus. Cirrostratus. Cirrus with layers. And layers are white. And through these layers, The moon may be visible, the sun may be visible. A term known as halo is visible in these clouds. This question was asked in the PT examination. That halo, a circle around the sun or a moon, is visible in which type of clouds? The paper setter gave 4 options. The correct option is zero status clouds. These are thin white clouds. The sun and the moon is visible through that with a circle. Circle because there is radiation from the ice crystals. It is followed by alto stratus, AL, alto stratus. These are high clouds with patches, not contiguous stratus. Plus nimbus, NS. Nimbus stratus, they are just like fog, in which you will not find much, but they obstruct the rays of the sun. Nimbus, nimbus means rain giving clouds. In this area you will find some showers. Alto stratus, some drizzle, and then cumulus nimbus. CN is cumulus. Cumulus is like a heap of cotton. They are, जिनको हिंदी में मुकुटधारी भी कहते हैं, like this shape. That is cumulus nimbus, and in the cumulus nimbus, the vertical extension of clouds is very high. In the cumulus nimbus clouds, the extension of the cloud from surface up to several kilometers you will find, and thunder and lightning is a phenomenon of this cumulus nimbus cloud. The thunder and lightning occurs in this, and when there is thunder and lightning, you can make a prediction. Tomorrow will be a fine weather. Fine weather means sunshine. There will be blue sky. Blue sky means anticyclone. And the people of Europe, they feel so happy. If it is thundering is taking place in the night, they know tomorrow it will be a bright sunshine. And by chance, if it is Saturday and Sunday, they plan for sea beach to get vitamin D. They prepare their program like this. Because this is thunder and here is the blue sky. One more feature you have to note down, I missed that point, in characteristics. The temperate cyclones, insert this point also, always come in the form of a family. That is it. They never come alone. Opposite to this, the tropical cyclone come as a single person, like a nucleated family. मैं अकेला ही काफी हूँ. I can do enough damage myself. These are human friendly, but you mentioned they come at least in a sequence of 3. Grandfather, father, son, maybe the grandson also. There is a sequence. I will show you one diagram. In case you are having more time and not writing, then you can give this very interesting diagram about the weather conditions. This is warm sector. This is cold sector. The air is rising, warm front. This air is moving faster, cold. And this belt shows the rain. This much is the area under cloud. Remember, it is moving in this direction. In case you master this diagram and can do it in 1 minute, try to give. 1 minute is the time. In case you give this diagram, definitely you will be beating your rivals, because this is much better. And I took every precaution to attract the attention of the examiner. Warm air by orange color. The semicircles are also with orange. And here cold air with green. The spikes are with blue. The diagram is more attractive. This single diagram can create an impression in the mind of the evaluator or examiner. This student is a superior student. He is a quality student. He deserves better marks. Give him minimum 60%. Previous diagram is also, if we are in a hurry and shortage of time, give that one. But throughout my presentation, you will be noting I am not saying anything to write. Only few sentences important which can be underlined, but documents are required. The drawing is required. If you can use the color pen, nothing like that. because color diagrams are more attractive as compared to the pencil diagram. Never draw the diagrams with ink, blue ink or black ink. That is the worst. The diagram will be the worst. Either use pencil. If you are confident, go for the colors. Now, after this, a simple diagram that all the temperate cyclones that they come in the form of a family. You see, there is a cyclone here. It is developing and moving in this direction. The second is developing here, B, C and D. The fronts are trying to occlude or mix with each other. So one family is going here. As it passes, the second family is ready to move. It is a continuous process. The temperate cyclones move in the form of a family. They never take the risk of moving alone. And that's why the farmers and the people of temperate latitudes, they know that after every 2-3 days, there will be another cyclone. If there is cyclone after every 2-3 days, 2-3 blue sky, sunshine, then 5-6 days for the tropical temperate cyclone, they know that we are going to have enough moisture or rain. There is no need of irrigation. That will come. So this diagram, if you can master again, this is a real diagram, which I obtained from Garrison's book. Garrison has written actually oceanography. His book is Bible of Oceanography, but this diagram is from Garrison's oceanography. If you give the comment down below, source obtained from Garrison, again this is a good thing. Never write, it is not in Savinder Singh's book, and therefore there is no need of writing. Impress the examiner that source, oceanography by Garrison. They know this. And if you are quoting the foreign authors, you are better than other students. Now, after this, give the main routes or main tracks of the temperate cyclone. The cyclones, they move in the temperate latitudes. The latitudes may be between 30 to 60, and here is the world map. I always advise you, practice. The world map should be ready in 40 seconds. World map should not be exact world map, but it should be like the map of the world. North America, South America, Africa. This is the track or the path where the temperate cyclones move. And remember, the temperate cyclones frequency is more in the southern hemisphere. From your PT point of view, they are more regular, more punctual in the southern hemisphere because the frictional force is missing. In the southern hemisphere, we have more water. On water, there is more development of temperate cyclone. This way, these are the two belts between 32 degrees, 60 degrees north, 30 to 60 degrees south, where they blow throughout the year, with slight change in the shifting of pressure belts. And finally, come to the last part, social relevance of temperate cyclone. Social relevance of temperate cyclones. Again, lengthy paras are not appreciated. Give point wise. Number one, the temperate cyclones are human friendly. Opposite is the case with tropical cyclones. They are destructive. They are enemies of man. So one point which is very relevant, all these temperate cyclones are human friendly. Number two, they give rainfall almost throughout the year. Almost throughout the year. In Chile, the Bahia Felix record 325 days as rainy days. Now you can use that knowledge, underline. Bahia Felix has 325 days as rainy days. Number three, the farmers need not to irrigate their crops. need not to irrigate their crops, because under the mild temperature conditions, the drizzle and light showers, the drizzles and light showers provide enough moisture to the standing crops. Next, the temperate cyclonic weather. The temperate cyclonic weather according to E. Huntington, American geographer, E. Huntington is favorable for better human efficiency. Actually, the time will not be on your side, but let me tell you that Huntington, an American geographer, he said that if the temperature is around 20 degree Celsius, temperature 20 degree, relative humidity 60 degree plus, no, percent, it is in percent, 60% and above, then cloudy weather, and variable winds. This type of weather is ideal for human efficiency. The people can do work for a longer period if the conditions are like this. They will not be exhausted or fatigued, and they can work with concentration. Huntington said the people of Northwest Europe are advanced. The people of North America in this belt are advanced because they can work for a longer period and with better concentration, focused. If people are working for 8 hours a day with concentration, the total production will be more and the total quality of production will also be superior. Huntington said, I am not saying myself, this is, and perhaps this is the reason he said that European countries are having the hegemony or leadership of the world in science, technology, and geopolitics. This you can quote, but time is a constant. And lastly, the temperate latitudes climate provide favorable weather for sound health. These are the actually special qualities of the temperate cyclone. Now you see how many sentences you have written, but how many diagrams you have documented. The distribution is 60-40. Written portion carries 60 marks, diagrams carry 40 marks. If you are putting your question like this, I am sure you will be getting 12 or 13 marks out of 20 marks. This question, if it is coming, it will be a 20 marks question. इसमें मुश्किल क्या चीज़ है, कौन सी इसमें प्रॉब्लम है, इस तरह से अपने क्वेश्चंस को अरेंज कीजिए. If there is any doubt, you can discuss with me. The examiner never appreciate the bookish language. The examiner want to see whether you are actually competent enough to reduce your lengthy answer in about 20 minutes or 18 minutes time with neat diagrams. This should be the quality. I don't know. All my classmates in MA, they used to write many pages and coming out saying, I have filled up 60 pages today in 3 hours. I don't know whether it was legible or readable or not. And I used to get about 30-40 diagrams. This was my, and I used to beat them by about, in each paper, by 6-7 marks minimum. In some papers, I defeated my rivals by 10 marks. If I was getting 70, they were getting 60. So this way you have to prepare yourself. This is one model answer. If I am a paper setter on temperate cyclone, this will be the answer given to you. All important things have been said. And in any question in geography, wherever possible, try to give the social relevance in 2 sentences or 3 sentences in the ending part. Even if it is weathering, you may say how to correlate weathering. Try to show how weathering is important for the society, because the soil formation is not possible without weathering. Try to correlate in that. Then your answer will be a better answer as compared to others. Always answer your question with the help of headings, point wise, with diagrams. This is the technique to be followed by you. It will reduce your stress. And since still there is some time, I mean enough time, some of you are very senior, they know the methodology very well. I wish you may prepare some notes like this. In the class I teach in the same, with the same frame, with the same structure, but wherever you are in shortage of literature, make your 1 page or 2 page notes. It's with structure, significance, or in this case, origin of temperate cyclone. What are the characteristics of a temperate cyclone? What are the weather conditions of a temperate cyclones? What are the actually path or tracks in which the temperate cyclone move, and how these temperate cyclones are beneficial for the people in which they are occurring, or social relevance. ये आपका आंसर होना चाहिए. This is actually the way. इसमें sorry, there will not be much stress on you, but the most important thing is you have to practice the diagram. मैं भी रात बना करके लाया हूँ आपके लिए. These are new diagrams for you. इसके लिए मेहनत तो करनी. But once you develop this habit of drawing, तो फिर आपको तैयारी कुछ करनी ही नहीं. ये ड्राइंग ही आपको वहाँ बहुत ऊपर ले जाएगी. दूसरी ये है कि किताबें रट लीजिए, स्पीड बढ़ा लीजिए. इतनी स्पीड से लिखे कि कोई पढ़ ना पाए. जब पढ़ नहीं पाएगा तो नंबर आपके खुद ब खुद कमाएंगे तो आप कम्पीट नहीं कर पाएंगे, जो कोई नहीं चाहता. हम तो चाहते हैं हमारे नंबर सबसे ज़्यादा आए. सिमरनदीप को मैं जानता था, मैं वन ऑफ माई स्टूडेंट, जिसको मैंने पहले टेस्ट पे कहा था यू विल बी IAS दिस ईयर. पहले अटेम्प्ट में यू विल बी IAS. जम्मू में आजकल DM है, 2009 बैच का है सिमरनदीप सिंह. तो वो ताज्जुब करता था, अपने साथियों से पूछता, सर ये कैसे, मुझे तो कहते हैं तुम IAS हो जाओगे. दूसरों से पूछते थे कि तुमको भी कहते हैं क्या, कि नहीं हमें तो नहीं कहते. और वो पहले ही अटेम्प्ट में हुआ, क्योंकि उसको ड्राइंग का बहुत शौक था और नीट बनाता था. ही वॉज परफेक्ट. वो लड़के लिख रहे हैं 10-10 पेज के नोट्स बना रहे, 160 नंबर का क्वेश्चन आता था जब 2008 वगैरह में. वो सिर्फ ड्राइंग बनाता. आइसोस्टेसी पे सवाल उसी बैच में आया था, और भी बहुत अच्छे सवाल थे, लेकिन उसकी ड्राइंग इतनी परफेक्ट थी कि उसको सबको बीट कर. इन द फर्स्ट पेपर आउट ऑफ 300 ही गॉट 210. क्योंकि अफ्रीका का मैप आया था ओम प्रकाश दैट ईयर, ये वो साल है जब अफ्रीका का मैप आया. उसकी 10 की 10 एंट्री ठीक थी, क्योंकि हम कॉन्टिनेंट वाइज कराते थे. 2 मैप आते थे, एक वर्ल्ड मैप और एक इंडिया का मैप. तो उस साल उन्होंने डेविएट किया. दे इंस्टेड ऑफ वर्ल्ड मैप दे गिव द मैप ऑफ अफ्रीका ओनली, और जितनी एंट्रीज थी सब कराई हुई. 10 की 10 ठीक. सेकेंड पेपर में 10 की 10 में 20 एंट्रीज की ठीक थी. इन द फर्स्ट पेपर ही गॉट 210 मार्क्स. इन द सेकेंड पेपर ही गॉट 190. You can see how, no, 180. The total was 390. 390 out of 600, and I was confident he will be IAS, and he became IAS. ये मैं तो एडवाइस वही करता हूँ जैसे कि मॉडल आंसर हम लोग देते रहे. बहुत दिनों तक हमने ये काम किया है, कापियाँ भी चेक की हैं. इस तरह के आंसर आपके जाने चाहिए, लेकिन आप करेंगे वही जो आपको करना है. दिल है कि मानता नहीं. मेरा रूम पार्टनर तो इतना लिखता है, इतने बड़े बड़े पैराग्राफ लिखता है, वो एग्जामिनर के लिए बोरिंग होता है. एग्जामिनर को तो पता है आंसर क्या है. अब डायग्राम विद स्मॉल सेंटेंसेस, स्मॉल पैराग्राफ यू आर एक्सप्लेनिंग, एंड यू विल बी एबल टू कंप्लीट द ग्रेटर पार्ट ऑफ द पेपर. इसलिए टाइम मैनेजमेंट की बात मैंने बीच में पहले ही कही थी कि यू हैव टू रेशनलाइज द टाइम. इफ देयर इज अ शॉर्ट नोट ऑफ 10 marks, it should not get more than 7 minutes. in terms of time. And never follow the instruction given, write 150 words. Never write 150. Try to write 110, 115 or 20 at the most. Save 30 words in each short note. There are 5 short notes. You will be saving time also. But in 120 words also you can say the main points with one diagram. ये approach आप रखिए. Actually the second topic I came with the intention to discuss with you a topic from thought. But it is already almost 12 o'clock and I have to interact with somebody in the office. So today I stop here. In case you spare time, I may give one model answer of geographical thought or perspectives in human geography tomorrow. Tomorrow will be your class. There are only a few topics left which I have to cover tomorrow. Plus if the time permits, I may give a model answer of perspectives in human geography, how to attempt it. Because my observation for the last 3-4 years is all paper setters are asking minimum 40 marks from perspectives in human geography. Minimum 40 marks are coming from perspectives. And if you are weak or somebody is weak in perspectives in human geography, the total will not be at par to a candidate who is good in physical as well as in human geography. So I came with the intention to cover one topic from the perspectives in human geography also, but since the time is not on my side, I postpone this. It depends on your request. If the request comes, I will be giving a model answer for the geographical thought also, not today, tomorrow. Thank you very much for coming. I enjoyed and look forward that you will do very well in your PT and wish you all the best, not only in PT, in your maths and personality test also. See you tomorrow. Thank you very much. तुम्हारे पास वो